What's up, guys? We are back with another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at a recent Pulse exclusive in their new sort of army builder subline thing that they're doing when it comes to those closed box packages that come at a $15 price point. So we're taking a look today at the Hellfire Club Guard, which is really timed quite well because we're starting to get our Hellfire Club exclusive sets from PulseCon. So this works really well. So we've got this guy here in the new standard for this line. So the closed cardboard box that's really small form factor, just has a figure and accessories inside the bag, but they have some great artwork on the outside, and it works really, really well for these. I very much love this idea when it comes to army builders in general, and then of course the packaging for these guys. So much so that I got 4 of them. So let's do it. Let's pull them out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Hellfire Club Guard. Again, this is one of the kind of blind box almost style packaging figures that we've gotten from Pulse. So a literal troop builder figure, something that's not offered at normal retail. And I'm pretty happy with this guy. There is a lot to like about the overall package here when it comes to the figure itself. Not necessarily that it offers a great deal of anything new, but I like the idea behind what they're doing when it comes to troop builders for Legends, specifically because this guy isn't just something that they threw in a box. You know, we got the Hellfire Guard finally, so it's nice to be able to see this guy make an appearance this way and to be able to easily pick him up. So let's see what's going on here. This is a pretty basic figure, but that's to be expected, right? Nothing too crazy there, and it's certainly not a negative. So this is a Bucky Cap body figure, so of course it is kind of an older style body. Not really upset about it being used here because, of course, it allows for reuse of tooling that is super old at this point. So we know that they can get their money's worth out of this and pump out some troop builders. If this is what we have to do to get troop builders like this, I'm perfectly fine with it. They make for great cannon fodder and, you know, just beefing up your display. So we've got a head that can look up really, really far. He can look down really far as well. Full rotation as well. You're likely quite familiar with what's coming next. Arms at the shoulder. They rotate. We've got our bicep swivel. You've got double jointed elbows, of course. And then you've got hinges and rotation at the wrists. We've got our ab crunch. He goes backwards. He goes forwards. There is a waist cut down there. You've got your legs that go out about that far. They kick forward. They kick backwards. You've got your thigh cut, double jointed knees, boot cut, shin swivel, and then you've got rocker, and you've got hinge at those ankles. So he is pretty well articulated. I mean, nothing too crazy. Certainly not reinventing the wheel or anything here, but it's stuff that we know is kind of tried and true when it comes to Legends. This is an instance where in many cases I would say, why are they giving us this body? Because we know it's old, we know it's been put through the ringer at this point. But for this figure, perfectly fine with it. It very much works for this style of army builder. Visually speaking, this guy is basically what you expect to get out of this body. So it's a very muscular, not necessarily slender, but not overly beefy style of body. Something that you could see a relatively buff human being in the real world looking like. So it's a pretty decent body style and choice for this type of figure. He's not too small, he's not too big, and it works. Again, it's an old body mold. We've seen this I don't know how many times at this point, but it works here. So for a lesser price point, I'm okay with it. And it works out pretty well here. It lends itself well to the figure just being a guy in a suit, really. So you've got an overall blue figure for the most part. You've got some red for the cuffs, and then you've got red hands, red for the boots. You do have a separate piece for the belt here, and it just sort of sits over top of the waist area. So it kind of covers a little bit of the red paint, and then you do have the red paint that runs up the chest and then around to the back. For the most part, pretty clean too. I do have a nick here and there, but overall, no fuzzy lines or anything like that. I haven't seen a lot of that lately with Legends, so that's kind of a good thing here. But for the most part, he is kind of a what you see is what you get kind of figure. The big deal with this guy for me is just the overall color scheme, kind of evoking the idea of a classic style Hellfire Guard, but then also this head sculpt, because I don't know, I've always thought these things were just really weird. The mask is like eerily creepy, and it works here. You've got just the little slit for the mouth. I always think of like the Man in the Iron Mask, that kind of thing. And then you've got the slits for the eyes, and the eyes inside are actually painted pretty well. I've got 4 of these guys again, and all of them are really crisp and clean and very straightforward. And then you've got that kind of seam line that runs down the middle that bisects the head. So I really like the head sculpt. I think it's the big drawing point for this figure because of the fact it is just so different when it comes to color based on the rest of it. It's not blue or red. It's kind of a cream color, so it kind of draws your attention, but it's sculpted well for how basic it truly is, and really kind of seals the deal when it comes to the looks on this guy. It is, again, it's a basic figure, but it looks right. Now, as far as accessories goes, the guards have 2 guns, and this is an area where normally, under regular circumstances, I might complain about what is actually in the box, but for this particular offering, you know, the idea behind the $15 price point and them being just cheaper in general, I'm pretty happy with the fact that we still get 2 guns. So you've got the kind of futuristic techno blaster rifle here. We've seen this a number of times before, just done up in kind of a metallic-y gunmetal plastic. Nothing too crazy here. Again, stuff that we've seen time and time again with Legends. And then we've got kind of the counterpart to that when it comes to a pistol, the little blaster pistol that we've seen before. And this is, again, done up in the same kind of color scheme type of plastic. So you get 2 different kind of guns for a bigger weapon or just your standard pistol. They do only have 1 trigger finger hand, but you can get them to hold the guns relatively okay in the regular gripping hand. Of course, this is the area where I would love to say I kind of wish he came with extra hands to be able to swap out trigger finger hands or to have some fists, but again, for the price point, definitely not worth complaining about. I'm happy that we got the 2 guns, and yeah, it's basically everything you need at the bare minimum level to kit this guy out with some weapons and have a full box. So overall, there's really not a lot to complain about here. If you are remotely interested in being able to beef up your Hellfire Club, you know, especially if you got the exclusive 4-pack, this is the way to do it. This is also the way to do it when it comes to army builders. I don't know if it's going to be feasible for them to do every single army builder like this, but honestly, if they could shove them all into these cardboard boxes and throw them on Pulse, I would just be the happiest of campers. I liked it when they did the Hydra Soldiers, I liked it when they did the AIM Scientists, and I really like it here. I'm hopeful that once the upcoming Hand Ninja runs its course at retail, they're going to do the same for it, and we'll see more of this, because we know it's a proven successful thing that they're doing, and despite the fact that this guy is a very old style of Marvel Legends, like, again, he's nothing new, certainly not reinventing the wheel. It works really well when it comes to troop builders, when it comes to basic stuff like this that can reuse parts and still offer us something new or something in greater quantities that just doesn't work at retail. So I am all for this. So that's going to do it for this look at the Hellfire Club Guard from Marvel Legends. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.